Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our traditional Fuel Arts live webinars, where we delve into the fascinating Web3 ecosystem in Miami throughout this month of November. My name is Denis Belkevich. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Fuel Arts, and my charming co-host is Daria Rjavtseva, the head of partnerships at Fuel Arts. Hi, Daria.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Dennis.
How's the weather in Asia?
Oh, it's perfect. It's great.
Good. The same in Miami, and happy Thanksgiving Day to those who celebrate this fascinating holiday. So, our distinguished guests for this Thursday session are representing a Phygital startup, which is quite rare today in the Web3 space. The startup called WOWCube, the first-in-class innovative console combining digital, tactile, and GameFi features. And I'm happy to present our today's guests, Ilya Osipov, the inventor and founder of WOWCube, with 20 plus years in media management and IT entrepreneurship. Ilya was the founder of media company successfully acquired by Hears Corporation, and he has 18 scientific publications in Human-Computer Interaction magazine. And the second guest is Olga Vox, the vice president on Web3 strategy at WOWCube. She's an experienced blockchain business executive, a very known person here in Miami, a startup operator with more than 10 years in Web3. And as a fundraiser, she also secured more than $500 million funding and more than $2 billion enterprise value. Hi, Ilya. Hi, Olga.
Hi, Dennis.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today, and we are really happy to know more about WOWCube, to say wow, as we saw it for the first time. It was half a year ago, my first experience when I touched the WOWCube. I said to myself that might be the next big thing. So let's dive into its history. And oh yeah. I believe. Let's tease our audience now. Could you please show some of its functionality? But meanwhile, I'll ask the first question towards you guys, and probably let's start with Ilya. So, with your extensive prior experience in technology, science, and consumer electronics distribution, so how did the concept of WOWCube come into life?
It's a very fresh idea because I think it's for adult guys. It's difficult to invent something absolutely new, and really, it's not my idea. It's idea of my small son. In first time he was almost 12 years old, and we just playing with him. I am really love 3D puzzles, and my home full of collection of 3D puzzles, and with my son we print out at home just for hobby, home 3D printer, something interesting, and my son bring idea. Father, what do you think if like Rubik's Cube have screens around, and during the game characters running from one side to another side, and you need to match something. And really, I think about this idea maybe 3 days around the clock, and after 3 days I called to my friend from Minnesota who is a patent lawyer, and ask him to make a patent search, because just Google in internet, no result. And in few weeks we understand patent field is empty, we are first who decide to make Rubik's Cube with screens. And after that, we together invent ideas, just ideas of few games to fix our priority. We apply for scientific paper and with short description of our new device and ideas of games, and in maybe in 3 months we apply for first patent in United States and international patent, and I think we spent maybe 6 months to build first prototype. It's very early prototype. And
Okay.
This is our story.
Thank you. An amazing story. And let's continue the story, Daria.
Yeah, I'm just, thinking that today we're witnessing the expansion of Phygital projects from Disappear in Las Vegas or Super Blue in Miami. And in your opinion, what drives the decision of Gen Z and Gen Alpha to preserve tactile experiences in the era of Web3 and Metaverse? Why we're turning to Phygital experience?
It's they're not thinking about like Web3 or new technologies like like special. It's we have our own idea and show just interesting people and many interesting people from different from his point of view bring idea for us, or like a typical situation like somebody looking for cube and say, oh, it's so interesting, I can do something with cube. For example, many people thinking about health and cognitive development, because it's scientifically proven. 3D puzzles, usual 3D puzzles, not electronic, usual 3D puzzles, very good for cognitive skills. And in the result, many people said, "Oh my God, it's like bright like smartphone and healthy and good for cognitive development for kids, for example." And the same situation with Web3. First of all, people from Web3 said, "Oh my God, I want to have collection of art on WOWCube." But we speak about this. It's pretty nice idea, but maybe not very creative. More creative, it's using cube with maybe like for gamification with Web3, for games with unique assets, to exchange assets, to everything. And the very big plus of our platform, we control our it's because cube is platform. We have mechanical part, electronical part, operation system inside, and user interface and application. It's because we control everything. We have no some limits like like if you use Android or iOS, for example, you have a lot of limits, and you need to think how to avoid these limits, how to work with rules of big corporation.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would like to add that since WOWCube, the initial idea was Ilya's son, His name is Sava. I believe he was 12 or 14 years old when at the first step inception of the device. So for the Gen Z, it's very natural not to even make a difference between physical and digital because they were born with a smartphone in their hands. The way they operate and perceive the reality is not different. So if you, for example, if you're Gen Z and you go have meeting on a Zoom call, you think that you went to the meeting because for you it's not different. Your digital presence, your digital avatar has actually been to the meeting. Whereas for millennials and people older, it often means we often make like a difference between physical and digital. So the whole fact that Sava, being 12-year-old, thought that, hey, what if we take a physical device and like Rubik's Cube, right? You have to change the topology of the screen by twisting its sides, but also add digital components in it, which is games and its whole operational system that is, by the way, as Ilya mentioned, is open source. So anyone can come and express their creativity and to release content on WOWCube platform. So think about us like Roblox, and Roblox is one of the most popular game in the Gen Z and Gen Alpha generation, but that brings the actual building blocks in the physical space. And yeah, so when it comes to WOWCube and Phygital, we believe that there is a lot of opportunities for the next generation to release the creativity, as well as to the artists to deliver content to the end users. Because these days with metaverse and NFTs, every artist, every gallery, every creative is looking to engage with the audience in some new and exciting way. And the way you deliver content really matters. Like, would it be on a flat screen or would it be on a physical device that it can actually immerse in the reality and make it use in the metaverse and NFTs. We can talk a lot about potential uses of it. So the capabilities of WOWCube are really unlimited.
Thank you, Olga, for your contribution. I really agree that nowadays, in the era of Web3, as people say, we still are holding our physical, tactile smartphones like 20 hours a day. So there is nothing specific. It's not surprising a lot that the early adopters of WOWCube already love the concept. Even before the official release, the early customers claim that it's the next big thing after smartphones and VR glasses. Ilya has started the topic about the art market, and I'd like to dive deeper into that. So how else could your device contribute to the digital activation of creative tech, such as the art market? Right, collection is one thing. The next thing might be like today we're living in the era of generative art, and generative artists are combining prompts and the AI devices. So why not to put prompts on one side of the cube and link the devices to the other side, and let it be like natural to combine it. Let it be surprising how the customer will combine the prompts. I mean, different prompts and different AI platforms. So the result each time will be unpredictable. That's for instance my vision. So what else from the creative tech could you name? Just, it might be a quick reply for not to disclose.
Well, first of all, we would like to show how WOWCube works and what kind of functionality it has as of today. Since we're talking about digital art and virtual reality and creative tech, I believe it's important to mention that WOWCube essentially is a tangible interface. It is not one solid piece of tech. Essentially, it's 8 different models here. Each one acts independently of another. And each one has exciting tech such as accelerometer and gyroscope, as well as separate battery and speaker, and it's all united by the software. So if I deassemble the cube, there is a core that is holding everything together, but there is no virus inside. Everything is connected through magnetic connectors that is patented and invented by our company. So imagine that this can be a cube of this size, or this can be a panel on the wall, or this can be a sphere as big as the sphere in Vegas. So one of the major benefits of this technology is that it's tangible. The format can be very different, so you can really use your imagination and see what can be done in terms of dynamic artworks and transforming the perception of the viewer and viewer's experience, allowing them to physically interact and alter perspective of the art. As Ilya mentioned as well, the platform is open source, so all the elements of the art can interact with each other in the way that you program it. There are a few ways to interact with device itself. We can twist the sides and change the geometry of the screen. We can make one piece of content to go to another piece. So imagine if it's not just an image of the fish here, but an actual NFT. So by transferring the content or by changing the dynamics of the screen or interacting with other cubes, we can program it to make special action, let's say mint a new NFT, or to crossbreed the fishes in this aquarium in order to create a new piece of digital content that will also be unique for the owner or generated from the artist. So the capabilities are really unlimited, and it's only up to your imagination because the technology is already there.
Thank you, Olga. Yeah, our webinar series right now is dedicated to Miami ecosystem. So I think my next question will be connected with this topic. So while WOWCube was initially founded in the Bay Area, you've decided to move to South Florida. And I'm just, curious what factors influenced this decision. How do you feel right now about it?
It's a little bit personal question, but it's maybe was emotional decision because in COVID time, Bay Area is living in Bay Area is like extremely boring, and we for example, in this time we attract some money and have a lot of meetings with VCs, and maybe together with my co-founder Max, we participate maybe in 200 meetings with VC, and only maybe 3 or 4 in reality. Every other is through Zoom, Google Meet, or all this stuff. And I ask myself, why we are living in the Bay Area? No, we don't communicate people in person. We in any case we communicate through computer. We can live anywhere. but this is a reason. And I like to see right now is Miami community, especially about blockchain technology, Web3 technologies grow rapidly, and a lot of interesting events and interesting people in Miami or appear in Miami periodically. It's nice. It's a really nice place. It's maybe it's like good. It's not monopoly of Silicon Valley.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with Ilya. I moved separately also from Silicon Valley. And as you mentioned, we all live in a digital world where meetings are held on Zoom. So why not to live in a nicer environment with a nicer climate, with a nicer tax treatment, with an amazing community where you can also become the part of the ecosystem from its inception. Because all the governmental support and stimulus in the state happening right now. And historically, throughout the time, there were like different places, different cities in the US that were better or worse or on its highest heights in some period of time. And I strongly believe that the time of Silicon Valley was about 20, maybe 10 years ago. But after COVID, things changed a lot. And um, with all the governmental support and the community and a lot of people who moved to Miami from all over the US, I have tons of friends from San Francisco, LA, New York. So the Miami is becoming the core of creativity, technology, as well as an investment. Like one of the largest hedge funds is moving to Miami, which is Citadel, and it's a good sign for the local ecosystem because this means that a lot of tech companies will also follow.
Yeah, thank you. And Olga, as I've mentioned, you're the active person, one of the activists of the Web3 ecosystem of Miami, and some of our questions later on will be based on your personal Miami experience. But as soon as we have started talking about your achievements, let's talk about mistakes, because only brave people can share their mistakes. So since the inception of WOWCube, what mistakes have you encountered and what valuable lessons have you learned from them?
Good question. If I look back to our history, it's maybe worst thing what we make is not we develop not so quickly as possible, because it's like situation with various founders, mostly engineers. They try to build good technology first, and after that show it to the market. It's and it's typical mistake, I think. But to achieve good technology progress, to achieve good level of product, need two things, three things maybe most important. It's good, need to attract good team, good engineers, need to have enough money to finance all of this, and you need to make it pretty quickly, good organization process. Our problem, maybe not enough engineers on first stages, and not good experience in attracting money. Typically, our problem was typical VC look for our ideas, said, "Oh my God, this is hardware. Hardware is hard." And it's pretty difficult to attract money. But right now, most people understand this is not. Maybe it's 90% is not. This is not hardware. It's mostly platform, software product, and hardware is like only part of this. And hardware is in our product. I think hardware is the not very important part. Is this part is maybe we can share manufacture with and our technology to a lot of manufacturing. It's our cube is right now like Android for toys, for fidgeting, digital toys. Anyone can produce something like this. I think future, not only in virtual reality, we as in future we continue have our body. And in our body we interact with many things. And future in my point, future is in ambient technologies. There is technologies around us in everything. Toys is pretty interesting things. It's to embed computer deep technologies, because kids start his life with toys. Kids very quickly adapt technology. It's good for brain, for mechanical things, fidgeting things. It's and I think we can go forward much quicker.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, Ilya, you've mentioned, or you better say you compared Cube to Android for games. One idea quickly came to my mind: why if Apple starts using Cube as the joystick console for Apple Vision?
Because it's possible. Cube. It's because Cube have wearable interface for interaction via Bluetooth. You can connect to something outside of Cube. For example, to your computer, your 3D garnitura, to something like this. It's possible. It's mostly question of software to support protocols and all this stuff.
Good. I mean,
yeah, Denise. Okay. Sure. No, we just, like we touched the topic of VCs and fundraise, and I think it will be interesting topic to stop on a bit. Maybe you can just, like share a bit your fundraising journey till now. Like we know that having already secured 7.2 million in 4 rounds, but what is your next investment milestone and what are your expectations in this field? It will be interesting to know, I think, both for our startup audience, founders audience, and strategist audience also.
Right now, we make very private small bridge for 3 million, and we have over subscription right now because product now is look like very near to final product. We sell product to our customers in small amount for testing and for collect feedback. And additionally, few guys, including Olga Vox, who come to our team, help us with fundraising, because it's absolutely it's absolutely different problem. It's engineers thinking. I think I am an engineer. Engineer thinking using one way. Business people thinking a little bit different, and to have success, we need both type of people in your team.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't say that we had 4 rounds, because first 2 rounds was mostly friends and family. Like as Ilya said, the inception of the
PitchBook
idea
says
was
that. PitchBook
Yeah.
says that. Sorry.
yeah.
We have to
Then
correct that.
the first few versions were just on a 3D printer. So usually by the rounds, it means it's an external rounds where you attract angels and VCs, versus for us it was mostly private fundraising. The last round we did have raised money from venture capital, and as of today we're thinking that because it's a physical product, we're looking at different forms of financing and not necessarily from VCs. For example, one of them is a crowdfunding, it's crowdfinancing, which is very aligned with our mission and purpose in as a technology, as a product, because we're open source and we're about the community, as well as we allow anyone to create content and become an artist and creator in the field. We are one of the routes that we might want to take is to start our crowdfunding fundraising journey. Another thing is, because we're a hardware product, we can also do that financing and to attract money in different ways from the banking sector. So as an early stage startup, you always need to think how you can align your fundraising rounds, not to sell too much equity in the beginning for too cheap, and rather have enough in order to incentivize your strategic investors, your employees, and your community going forward. So since the WOWCube has been around since 2018, we are on a mission to deliver the highest quality product to the consumer and make it pay for itself, versus when you think about the more like software companies that are very easy to scale and they do not need to send money to a manufacturer to onboard next million users, let's say. Because for us, we need to produce the product first and put it on the shelves. So for the software companies, it can be a tricky thing as well, because you often very depend on the market cycles. If we talk about the stocks or the price of Bitcoin, when we're at the top of the cycle, and it's called bull market as well. Everyone is investing, everyone is raising. We have some crazy valuation, but it's not even close to the reality, the visibility of the product that you promised today. And then, so let's say you raise something in 100 million valuation, but then next year or the year after, the market goes down and nevertheless the companies are just cannot make it, right? They're running out of funds. So they're starting another round of valuation, and often they cannot close because the valuation for the previous round was so unrealistic, so high. And often they do down rounds or even selling founders' equity for the employees in order to not to dilute their previous investors too much. So we're choosing more like a combined model that is better for the long term and better for the future.
Thank you, Olga. We're waiting until the co-founder of WOWCube launches our webinar again. He's experiencing some technical difficulties at the moment. So our question would be to you in that case. So as soon as you are Miamian now, and our webinars are devoted to the creative tech startup ecosystem of Miami. So could you please share your experiences with local networking and offer maybe some insights? So in other words, was it challenging for you as a startup to become part of the creative tech community in Miami, both creative tech and venture capital community?
I
I would say,
come. Sorry, I come back. I have some trouble with internet.
no
Sorry,
problem.
I'm not at home. I am from Europe. Night, very evening at night right now.
Yeah. Well, like any other startup that works in blockchain and metaverse gaming space, we've always been quite decentralized and building communities everywhere we go. So when I personally came to Miami a year ago, it was during Art Basel, and as you know, it's one of the best events that are happening in South Florida and probably in the US when it comes to uh, technology and art combined. Maybe even probably in the world, because I've been to Art Basel in the place of inception in Basel, Switzerland, and it's nothing like Miami. It's mostly for hardcore collectors, traditional galleries. So you don't get the amount of excitement and events and entrepreneurship as well as artists and creators in Switzerland as you get in Miami. It just feels like everyone who has something to show and to say coming to South Florida during that week. So for me, it was the best time of the year when you actually have to come and meet everyone. And a lot of people just by 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 experiencing Art Basel and experiencing Miami for the first time, meet sufficient number of interesting people and prospects that make them want to consider Miami as a place of their residence for the next 6 months. I have to say that Miami is a little bit seasonal, and most of the people try to be here from October to May versus from May to October traveling and doing business elsewhere. So if you're coming to Miami, I highly advise to be here in winter. That's where you can easily meet all the startups and investors. And I would say during Art Basel particularly, you have like 30 events per day that you have to choose. And then for the next month or so, people prefer to stay in Miami in order to do follow-ups and meetings. So it's the best time to network here for sure. Versus if you compare Miami to other cities in the US, I would say if you work in gaming or or cinema, LA is the place that you want to travel more often. If you do startup in AI, it's San Francisco. If you do something finance or fintech related, it's probably New York. Whereas Miami is, it has a nice intersection of every industry because we have major venture funds here. We have a few major accelerators and incubators of just starting the startup programs in Miami this season, as well as we have corporates and startups slowly moving to the area. So if you want to be at the beginning and the inception, when you can meet more people, when you can easily schedule to have a meeting or a coffee with someone and not wait like a few weeks, like in New York or in LA, Miami is the place that right now to be. It's very dynamic, and we love it here.
Thank
Cool.
you. Thank you. That's really a good insight, and it fully corresponds with our anticipation of Miami.
Yeah, I think that here today we're talking a lot about the future, and you are creating this future, creating your startup. So it will be interesting to know your thoughts on like you envision the development of Miami's creative tech sector in the upcoming years, how it will develop, what do you think will be in the future?
We see a lot of support is coming this way from the governments and from our tech and creative friends for the University of Miami. Because when we talk about future, we think about the new leaders, the graduate students, what kind of jobs they would want to get into, if they are they going to stay in the region or they will go try their luck somewhere else and try to build a career somewhere else. So we believe that education and opportunity for the younger generation and for students is the way to develop the region, and we saw a lot of support from the government and local community there. For example, just last month there was East Miami hackathon. Ethereum hackathon is one of the biggest hackathons for everyone who wants to build a project on blockchain. And East Denver is the major conference. So in Denver, Colorado. So Miami is becoming the second largest because we want to get access to the younger talent and to make people choose technical and creative jobs and provide the opportunity for them to stay in the region. So as we host more events, as we host more hackathons and engage with the community, it will help to create more jobs and to attract more talent, not even from the universities, but moving from other states. As we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of reasons why people want to be in Miami. And traditionally, it has been good if you are already a successful founder or investor, or you're retired maybe 20 years ago. So it's not the case anymore. These days, Miami attracts younger people and talent. We think that the government provides all the support for that. Yeah. When I'm moving to Miami, guys.
Thank you. That was very inspirational, as
you.
well as the whole discussion today. And thank you for joining us at the Thanksgiving Day. And we have yes.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy. Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Daria and Olga.
Yeah. We wish WOWCube prosperity and launch at the time when you ready to please the world, to surprise the world, and to power the world with the 3D experience. So yeah, and see you in several weeks at Art Basel. I know that you are coming, and
Yes, we are
hopefully
coming.
during this Art Basel, some important things will come true.
Thank you very much. See you. See you at
See you
our bus.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Miami.
Bye.
Thank you.